I'm not actually going to do an introduction on this one. I wanted to cover some stuff. Primarily, I just wanted to talk about George Floyd. I wanted to talk about these protests. What happened to George Floyd is a tragedy. No family, no man should ever have to deal with that. He wasn't resisting arrest. I saw the videos, the security footage, they're all over the internet. Now, that being said, racism is bullshit. But if you're going to protest, do it the right way. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't protest in a way where he was causing destruction. He had a lot of issues. People were trying to hurt the protesters with Martin Luther King Jr. They were trying to hurt him. There was black and white footage of them getting sprayed with fire extinguisher hoses from the fire trucks. That pressure is a lot. It's a lot of pressure. It can cause some harm. But they did not hurt anybody else. They didn't start rioting. They didn't start breaking things, looting. That doesn't solve anything. It doesn't help the situation. All doing this is going to do is create more hate, and that hate is going to fuel more hate. It's a never-ending cycle in doing it like this. It's 2020. We need to wake up. Seriously. People open their eyes and start looking at what's going on. All right, I'm so sick and tired of seeing this racist BS. It has no place in the world anymore. It never did to begin with, but it was there. We've gotten through so much crap. And yet, here we are, still racist bigots all over the damn place, getting into the police force. The racism needs to stop. Period. It's just gotten to a point. The reason I'm so ticked off about this, and I couldn't watch the video. My girlfriend found a video, and she was telling me about it. There was a peaceful protest. Some cop, he decided, oh, well, there's this little girl over here, slightly older from what my girlfriend could tell. She was slightly older than our son. This cop decides to pepper spray her. Why? Because she had a different color of skin. I'm sorry, that is BS. I have seen grown men get pepper sprayed and fall to their knees and cry like a damn child. That is bullshit. No kid, no parent wants to see their children hurt. No kid should ever have to go through something like that. I've got a friend that was with one of the peaceful protests. I shouldn't say friend, I ain't talked to her in years. She was tear gassed. Okay, see, here's where it's getting some confusion in, because if it's a peaceful protest, there should not be any tear gas. They just let them march. Spread their message. Make people aware. But when you're sitting there destroying shop windows, breaking in, stealing shit, that's not a protest. You're just wanting to do something destructive, and you found the perfect excuse. Well, I think it's bullshit that you're using this man's death as your excuse to go riot and loot. I'm sorry, I am very pissed off about all of this. But it's... a peaceful protest is a peaceful protest. Martin Luther King Jr. was a prime example of what a protest should be. But all this shit, like I said, the rioting, the looting, the anarchy, the chaos, it's not helping a gosh dang person. Caught myself. And I'm not a God-fearing man by no means. I believe in God and I believe in the devil. I've gone to church, but I don't go constantly. But this is not okay. Lord Vane's right on that too. I'll read your comment out loud. What the cops are doing right now is outrageous, period. Not to mention the cops actually antagonizing protesters to get them to fight back so they'd have reason to beat the shit out of them. And yeah, it is. It's bullshit. Because there are people out there that are really protesting the right way. But it's getting overran by all these looters and these criminals, these people who've wanted to do criminal activities for a long time, just never had a reason, or these people that just see an opportunity to go and do shit. But when I see and hear about children getting hurt, when I see and hear about these people getting hurt just because they're trying to spread a message, it just does not set well. I am the furthest thing you would ever find from some of these people. Yes, there's still racism. I'm the furthest thing from it. I just think it's all fucking stupid. Everyone bleeds the same. That is the one thing I've always stuck with. It doesn't matter if you're Asian, black, white, red, Hispanic, it don't matter. We all bleed the same. And I'm kind of going on my own little riot right now. Rant. Fact of the matter is, it's 2020. Racism shouldn't exist no more. It does, but it shouldn't. If there is even slightest inclination that an officer has had allegations put against him for harassment, racist comments, anything on an officer, they should be held accountable for that first offense and at least sat down and questioned. Maybe they were just having a bad day. Maybe they spoke out the ass. But it should be held accountable. Every single one of them. Every cop. That's true. And even there is that where peaceful protesters still end up getting ignored and they get beat just the same. And Lord Vane's right about that one too. And it's an unfortunate thing because if you go back and watch Martin Luther King's march, it was peaceful for them. It was all the other people, the law enforcement and all of them that was causing harm. What did they do? They got up, probably sore as hell, hurting, wondering if they were going to be able to make it home that night. And they still marched. They did make a change. He got to deliver his I Have a Dream speech. And people are defacing the monuments. People are destroying stores. It's BS. And the fact of the matter is, my friend Lord Vane, he's down in Kentucky, not too far from Louisville. He's several miles, but still close enough to cause me worry. My cousin, she works at the local Walmart, and she's got a family to feed, but she told me today, sent me a message and said if I need to pick anything up, to go get it picked up quick, because they had been tipped off that the rioters and looters might be making their way through our town, on into another town after they're done here. So yeah, I worry about people. I worry about everyone that works in that store, everyone that's out there that's working, having to be at their job when something like this is going crazy. And this isn't the kind of stuff you should worry about. We should be worried about the virus. How are we going to stop the virus? We shouldn't be worried about who's going to shoot who's going to kill who. The racism needs to stop, and I've repeated that a lot. And it's not all cops. Not all cops, not all white guys are racist. Not all of any ethnicity is causing this by themselves. It is a select few out of that group. A certain percentage is causing issues. It's more than just one person, but it's enough. Now, like I said, this is not for kids. I have it marked where hopefully this one isn't getting put out to kids, but this message Something needs to change. And it's not just one person, it's the whole damn country. We need to finally figure out a way to get along. We all bleed the same. We all should be working together. We all should be helping each other out. Color doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Because everything's just going down the drain. This whole country is going down the drain because people are too full of hate. Yeah, I get it. There's people I don't like, but I don't hate their entire group, ethnicity, their race off of that one person. There's things that people do that I don't like, but I don't, it's that person, not everyone. It's not something that shouldn't have to be said out loud, but apparently somebody has to say it. And I know there's a lot of people out here saying it right now. It's... And I've watched the security footage that was found of the attempted arrest on George Floyd. He did not resist once. So when them cops are saying that he was resisting, if you haven't seen the security footage and you've got a stomach for BS, you should watch the security footage. I've just got done watching another news broadcast from yesterday, and it's just straight chaos. It's BS. This is what's going to put us in the hole. This is what's going to make the government have to initiate martial law, is people's inability to function. Stressful situations are stressful situations. Everyone's feeling stress right now. Some people can handle stress better than others. Some people can't handle grief well. But I feel bad for George Floyd's family. I feel bad for what happened to him, and I wish them the best in everything that they're going through. I hope that every single one of them cops that was there get prosecuted and sentenced to life, because that's another thing. There's a reason cops don't go out by themselves, so shit like this isn't supposed to happen. Them other cops could have jumped in at any time, but they didn't. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're shared the same mindset, the BS mindset of a racist. I don't know. But rather this goes on like this or not, you gotta think about what you do. Because in the long run, yes, the government makes the laws, but they make the laws according to the people. If we behave like animals, they're going to start treating us like animals. We need to show everyone by action, not just talk. Talk is cheap. You want to prove that you're protesting because this man lost his life? Do it the right way. And yes, doing things the right way are usually the harder way. But you're going to get more of a response if you can do things the right way than breaking and entering. All you're doing by breaking and entering and looting and stealing and rioting and burning buildings down, for sake. Do you know how many people work most of their lives in the same place, just trying to fend for their family? And you destroy buildings that people whom had nothing to do with this incident are working at, putting them out of work. You're making the country worse. We're already in a bad situation with the coronavirus. And I just, I can't sit by and not say something, because it's been building up and building up. Now, granted, when I first heard about it, I thought it was BS. I didn't know the man's name. I didn't know George Floyd's name at first. I tried to avoid the news. But when something like this happens, there's no avoiding it. It's everywhere. So I decided to look into it and see what had actually happened, watch some of the footage I could find, and man, let me tell you, sometimes I just wish we could go back to the way things were, but like in the 90s, you could send your kids outside to play and not worry about it as much. You could trust your kids to go to their friend's house and be back when you told them to. Not nowadays. You don't even know what's going to happen if you step out your front door. That's how messed up this has gotten. Imagine that. You can't even fathom how stupid things have gotten. Like, think about it. When I was born in 91, when I was a kid, my dad told me I could go over to this friend's house. I had to be back by this time. If I wasn't, I got in trouble. Nowadays, you can't discipline your kids. They don't listen. They run out the door, do whatever the hell they want to do, and end up getting hurt, kidnapped, worse. Seriously? And I know this is all just... It's not connected in a sense, but in another sense it is. It's like the people whom are doing the rioting and looting. It's like that's the kids nowadays. That's not just kids, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm fuming and I can't even think straight to word things right. But when kids grow up and they're not raised the right way, they're not disciplined, they're not taught to respect people, this is what happens. Racism should have been out the window years ago. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks like this. I just find it complete and total... I'm trying to watch my language, I really am. But it's BS. Because, I'm sorry, but when I hear about this little girl getting pepper sprayed because of this color of her skin, it's stupid. All I can think about is, what if my son decided there was something happening when he's older and he wants to do a peaceful protest? It's supposed to be peaceful. You know, they're not harming anybody in a peaceful protest. Now, on the flip side, there has been some things I'd seen while watching the broadcast from the news channel I was watching. There have been cops protecting protesters. I've seen a few videos of that. It's not everywhere, because why would they want that everywhere if they want to spread hate? But I've seen cops protecting protesters, protesters protecting cops. And like I said, it's not all of them, but there's enough of a majority of the cops that have shown that little regard for human life to make people not want to trust them. It's the whole thing is freaking messed up big time. And if I had the power to, I would put an end to it. But I don't. I mean, I think if there's any racists left in the world, they either need to stay locked up in jail or, well, like I said, peaceful. It's easier said than done. I get that. But you got all these fear mongers sitting here making people more scared than they have to be. You got people whom are giving in to their fear, doing things that they shouldn't be. And I think the whole thing just needs, every one of them, everybody, just needs a good smack to the face to clear their damn heads. And I'm talking about the rioters and looters. It's, like I said, it's anarchy. I've heard several things going around, like it's another, it's Antifa, it's this, it's that, and it doesn't matter who it is. The fact of the matter is it's wrong. The fact of the matter is that these groups are using people who are angry, who are grieving, who are hurt, and they're manipulating them to do things that they want done, and they're saying this is how you get their attention. It's not. I just can't stand the fact that there's all this bullshit racism going around. I think it's better off dead. I got to sit here and worry about my cousin who's working at a store who had nothing to do with the incident. Because people want to sit there, riot, and loot. It's not a protest if you're stealing, if you're hurting people. And my riot has gone on probably long enough. And, yeah, I'm sorry for blowing a fuse. Not sorry, I'm sorry. I don't really care who gets pissed off at what I'm saying. It's the truth. Racism needs to die. The protests that are peaceful, that are doing it the right way, it takes time, yes. But it has been proven that it can get results. Look back at Martin Luther King Jr. He went through hell to get his point across, and he did it peacefully. He never raised a hand to anyone. The church they burned down, that was part of it. The March on Washington with Martin Luther King Jr., they advised him to close the church because of how, violent things were getting, but the church stayed open. And they burned the church. You're not honoring George Floyd by burning places down. You're not honoring this guy's memory by rioting and looting. You want to honor his memory? Take things the right way. Yes, protest, but do it the right way. Because all it's going to do is, if you're rioting and looting, more people are going to get hurt. It's useless to even try to riot and loot. You're going to cause more people to get hurt. You're going to cause so much bullshit to, like I said, rioting and looting is not protesting. Protesting is doing, like I watched a video of these people protesting, marching, led by some police officers. That is a protest. It's peaceful. You're not trying to destroy anything. You're not trying to harm anyone. You're going through, you're voicing your belief. You're voicing what needs to change. And I already said it. We all bleed the same. It doesn't matter skin color. So why can't anyone else freaking, higher up start getting things changed? I hear it all the time. Racism needs to stop. Racism needs to stop, from high up on the videos and people whom are heads of police departments and shit like that. Well, do something about it. You have the power to actually go through and do these background checks on your employees, on your officers. Yeah, sometimes it's harder, but it, like I said, that's why you bring into question questionable behavior. Make them have to take responsibility for their actions. If you did that, things wouldn't escalate to this degree. The officer that had killed George Floyd, he had other allegations against him, but they never checked into him or something. There was no proof. It doesn't matter if there's proof. You check into something like that. I'm sorry, but if somebody has the guts and the courage to say something about a cop's behavior, it's the responsibility of that cop's higher up, that officer's higher up, to question that officer's morals. It is the responsibility of his higher ups to bring into question and make sure that he is doing what he had sworn an oath to do. Hopefully my next video is more back to base with what I normally like to do, but I just had to vent and say what I had to say, because quite frankly I'm just frustrated. I'm tired. All this racist BS, fucking white supremacist, Nazi, neo-Nazis, whatever, fucking KKK, they're all better off without them. Like, better off dead. I cannot stand racism. Period. And I'm not promoting violence. Let me say that right now. If you, like, just call the cops, which is harder given everything that's recently happened. It's a situation, isn't it? Don't take matters into your own hands is what I'm trying to say. Just understand that the way the world is now, everything's falling apart. There's very little order, very little faith in the law. There's just be there for each other. We are all of us, white, black, red, Oriental, Hispanic, man, woman, we are all humans. We all think, we all have our own opinions, we all have feelings. The fact of the matter is, as far as it goes with the racism, if you know somebody who's racist, stay away from them. Don't let them get into your head. I'm just tired of all this BS. Like, I haven't talked to him in a while, but there was this friend of mine, and he's a black guy. He's a really cool guy. He's got an awesome son. He's got a wife. He's got a great family, and he worked every day of his life to provide. And yet, I'm sure it was no different for George Floyd. And the whole thing over a freaking counterfeit 20, whom he probably didn't even know it was counterfeit. Now, don't take what I'm saying here verbatim. I'm just saying that there is actually counterfeit bills in circulation. There are people who know how to make well-off counterfeits, and they do get caught into circulation. He might not have known. And even if he did, not saying he did, but even if he did know, he didn't resist arrest. There was no need for that much of excessive force, let alone just the flat-out murder of the man. I got my own family I gotta look out for. I feel so sorry for his family, his mom, his father, who lost their son, his wife, his kids, his friends, just because one cop wanted to be a frickin' dick, wanted to be a racist bigot. And if you can't tell, that makes me sick. I can't stand racism. But I think I've gone on long enough on a rant. I've already ranted for almost 30 minutes. Holy sh. Alright. But, yeah, hopefully the next video is going to be a little bit more lighthearted, more back to base, because I cannot keep myself getting this stressed. It's ridiculous to think that people still have to worry about this BS. Now, that being said, I'm trying to calm. I'm trying to not get so flustered and not trip over my words so much, but this whole thing is just disgusting. But I guess I'll leave with, like I said, keep in mind, we all bleed the same. No matter the skin color, but on top of that, we're all the same. We need to work together, not keep... yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm furious. And, yeah. But, well, hopefully you guys stay safe. And, just keep your family close. Make sure those you care about are okay, doing alright. We have cell phones. No matter where you're at, you can stay in touch with somebody. Y'all stay safe. And hopefully we see change somewhere. But, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end my stream and just try and chill for the rest of the day and try and not think about everything going on, because quite frankly it just infuriates me. Excuse me. But like I said, all of you need to stay safe. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.